your hand if you've ever heard of Mario. How about Donkey Kong? I imagine that all of you raised your hand. If your parents were here today, and even some of your grandparents, I'm sure they would have raised their hand too. Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong are two original games from Nintendo. Donkey Kong was released in 1981 and Mario Bros. In 1983. Both were arcade-style games. While gaming systems and stories have drastically changed since then, the characters and many more are still associated with Nintendo and modern video games today. Nintendo continues to release new consoles and games, some becoming the fastest selling in Nintendo history. I'll be discussing with you all today the history of Nintendo gaming systems, video games, and the people behind the scenes. First, we'll delve into the founding history of Nintendo, which dates back to November 6, 1889. Fusajiro Yamauchi was a Japanese entrepreneur who opened a card-playing shop in Kyoto, Japan, and called it Nintendo Koppai. The Japanese government had in effect a playing cards ban due to excessive gambling among its citizens, but allowed Yamauchi to go ahead with production and distribution of his card-playing game called Hanafuda, which means flower cards, according to D.S. Cohen from LifeWire. By 1907, they were mass-producing the cards and introduced a Western-style playing card series. This is when the company really took off and became the #1 playing cards manufacturer in Japan, making Nintendo, abbreviated from Nintendo Koppai, the top gaming company in Japan. Over the next 40 years, the small business expanded into a major corporation. In 1929, Yamauchi retired and left his adopted son-in-law, Sekiro Kaneda, who eventually changed his name to Sekiro Yamauchi, in charge of the company. Fusajiro Yamauchi died in 1940 and would never know that the company he founded would eventually break ground with the Nintendo Entertainment System. From 1929 to 1949, Sekiro Yamauchi oversaw Nintendo. In 1948, Yamauchi suffered from a stroke and recruited his grandson, Hiroshi Yamauchi, to take over the company in 1949. Under Hishiro Yamauchi, Nintendo went from manufacturing playing cards to electronic toys in the 1960s, and eventually established itself as a major player in the toy market. In America, the growing arcade market caught Yamauchi's attention and he expanded into the US, releasing hits from Japan such as Space Fever and Radar Scope, which were not well received in America. He turned to designer Shigeru Miyamoto, who was working on Donkey Kong, and it became a hit in America in 1981 and is still a classic today. According to Jaz Rignall from US Gamer, in 1982, Donkey Kong had a revenue of $280 million, all in 1 year. In 1983, the Jumpman from the Donkey Kong series got his own series, introducing his brother Luigi, known as Mario Bros. In 1985, Nintendo released the NES, short for Nintendo Entertainment System. Quoted from the official Nintendo corporate history website, over the course of the next 2 years, it almost single-handedly revitalized the video game industry, selling over 60 million units. People brought games like Mario and Zelda into their homes for the first time on the NES. Zelda is still a popular series today. It was first released February 21st, 1986, and is continuing to be made today. In fact, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the fastest-selling game in Nintendo history, according to Matt Peckman from Time USA. The Game Boy was released in 1989 and was bundled with the video game we know as Tetris. It defined portable gaming and sold over 150 million devices worldwide. Nintendo revisited the Game Boy portable gaming device and launched the Game Boy Pocket in 1996, which was smaller than the original Game Boy and came in a variety of colors. and again in 2001, the Game Boy Advance with a larger screen and better graphics than the previous Game Boy. It featured popular games such as Pokemon Sapphire and Harvest Moon. In 2003, Nintendo modified the Game Boy Advance and released the Game Boy Advance SP, which was lighter, smaller, and folded in a clamshell design, and it was also rechargeable. So we're going to head back a little bit to 1991 when Nintendo released the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, which was like the Nintendo Entertainment System, but featured 16-bit technology, which meant more processing power and more entertaining games. Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country are two popular games for the SNES. 5 years later, in 1996, the Nintendo 64 was released. Super Mario 64 showcased the gaming console and introduced 3D gaming. In 2001, Nintendo released the GameCube, which one-upped the graphics and gameplay of the Nintendo 64 and made the switch from game cartridges to optical discs. It was a very popular console with games like Super Mario Sunshine and Animal Crossing. In 2004, Nintendo released the Nintendo DS, which had dual screens, one of which was touchscreen, a microphone, and built-in Wi-Fi capability. It was an incredibly successful portable gaming device and had a plethora of modified versions made after it, such as the Nintendo DS Lite, Nintendo DSi, and the Nintendo DSi XL. I have here another quote from the official Nintendo website. In 2006, Nintendo introduced the Wii and with it several advanced revolutionary features. Wireless motion-sensitive remote controllers, built-in Wi-Fi capability, and a host of other features have made the Wii the best-selling, latest generation console in the world. Popular games for the Wii include Wii Sports and The Legend of Zelda: The Twilight Princess. The Wii U was released in 2012 and had a Wii U gamepad controller and was the first Nintendo system to play new games in HD. For the first time ever, users could view and play 3D content without the special 3D glasses on the Nintendo 3DS, which was released in 2011. In 2013, Nintendo released the 2DS, which played 3DS games in 2D and was significantly cheaper. I actually have with me today the 2DS, which looks like this. If you turn it on here. So you've got your top screen here and your bottom screen here, which is a touchpad. So you can select things like this, or you can use the gamepad. And it also comes with a stylus here that you can use on the touchscreen. It is also rechargeable and has Wi-Fi capability. And in 2015 and 2017, Nintendo modified the 3DS and 2DS, making the 3DS XL and the 2DS XL, which had larger screens and could access Amiibo accessories. That brings us to the latest Nintendo gaming console, the Nintendo Switch, which I also have one here today. So the Nintendo Switch was released in 2017. It is a home console that can easily transition to a portable gaming device. So as you'll see here, this is the controller, and we have it here on the TV. So you can play games. It's got Wi-Fi capability. And it's easily transitioned to a portable device. So this is the box here. If the Switch is placed in the box, it has an HDMI cable that connects to the TV, allowing it to be played on the TV. Or if you prefer a portable device, simply take it out of the box And here you have it. It is also a touch screen. And just to show you, you can take the controllers off here, like so, and connect it to the device. Making it completely portable with the controller or the touchscreen. Some exclusive games for the Nintendo Switch is Mario Kart 8 and Luigi's Mansion, which I also have today. This is the newest game released for the Switch and also the newest game from Nintendo. It was released October 31st, 2019. And I'll just show you what the game looks like. It's a fairly small chip, and I'll show you how to insert it into the Switch. So you open this top port up here, and you just take that, push it down, and you're ready to play. And I will show you the easy transition back to a home console. And now you can play it on your television. So maybe one day we'll get to see our children and grandchildren enjoying the games that we did growing up, as our parents did before us. The longevity of the Nintendo company is unmatched in the gaming industry. Since 1889, starting as a playing card shop in Kyoto, Japan, Nintendo has successfully become one of the most popular and best-selling gaming companies in the world, through its innovative gaming console designs to the lovable and timeless characters and stories. Thank you.